yapping stream.
Alright, I just completely forgot that I had the whole thing muted for like 2 minutes straight. Anyways,
That's great.
I'll also be putting in this to my Discord server to just bump it up a
Oh
bit
yeah, it's a
here.
good idea. That's a good idea.
Yapping stream. Exclamation mark.
Nice setup you got here.
Yeah, it's. I should honestly put a bit more on the crop, but for my own end. But anyways, hello, welcome to the stream. It's it's more of,
Good to be here.
yeah. This is more of less a way more lenient stream, but it's more relaxed stream. Feedback one, since on.
All right, cool.
I mean, it's Thursday for you, right, Keegan?
It's yes, it's Thursday in the afternoon for me.
Yeah, so on Wednesdays it's gonna be more like the normal kind of streams, and as well as Mondays, which is your streams and your Saturdays. So this is more of like a kind of almost like a podcast kind of format where we just kind of talk about a lot of things. Depends on what is
Gotcha.
the interest of the topic for the day.
Yeah, no, I've been on a few streams like this, mainly Shockwaves,
James,
Ask
right?
Bugs by James. And then I've been on one with Bugs Nasty, Ask Bugs. And I've hosted a few of my own as well. So I definitely understand. I definitely no stranger to this format. I'm excited. Was there anything in particular? I know you said you wanted to talk, but when you DM'd me, I know you said you wanted to talk about music. Is there anything specific, or did you want to create this stream with a particular type of music or something or topic to think about, or was it literally just like unplanned? Was the topic like just like very loose?
It's more or less very
Curious.
loose, and it's honestly kind of like my plans and also your plans if you want to talk about it for the
Ah,
next,
okay,
yeah, which we can start off with you
gotcha.
first, or we can just go straight for it.
Sure. Well, I can start. My plans, I've got a lot of stuff going on with Abstract, including an EP that's coming out on July 5th. That's my next immediate release. The thing I promoted on my platforms. In fact, I still have to put that on my still have to put that pre-save on my link tree. But that's certainly something that I've been working on.
You did put it on your.
Um
Is it the Bandcamp one?
Bandcamp?
Remember you
No,
did
that's
like.
something entirely different.
Oh.
I released something. I released I'm way behind on my Bandcamp stuff. That's a single that I released a long time ago on my discography. Not super long ago, but it's an older single called Yaoi, which is a an
My
experimental track, a
putting
goofy experimental track.
mine typing that name out so I can show it to chat. I don't.
Yeah, it's sure, it's Yeaoui.
Alright, so let's go and just put that.
Yeah, it was inspired off of like an inside joke and an exaggerated version of like a default vowel shaper which goes yow yow yow.
So
It's just that, but like exaggerated.
So you guys looking at the stream, it's literally I'll turn off the yapping stream one, and this is what the name is. I looked at the. That's
Yeah.
literally the name. Yao. I still don't know how to.
Yeah. It's yeah. It's it's Yaoi.
Fire.
No one, no, it's not a language barrier thing. People like English speakers don't know how to pronounce it either. It's a Keegan thing, I assure you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, yeah. Speaking of which, this new release of yours with Keegan, sorry, with yourself, um, this new release with yourself, right? Is it?
Abstract.
Yeah, with
Or
you.
wait, are you talking about? Wait, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Yaoi, or are you talking about my upcoming EP?
The EP, yes, the EP. Is it like
Yes.
you're
Okay.
going to be working on him with every single song, or like how's the? Because EP
So
can be up to
abstract.
like a few songs.
So the EP is 5 songs long. Abstract produced each beat, and I recorded and wrote vocals for it, and also mixed the vocals in to the beats.
Ah,
And then at the last beat, Abstract is also going to be a vocal feature.
I see, I see. So this is gonna be like what kind of genre is it? Because I know you for a more electronic vibe, and
Yeah,
abstract is
it's gonna be like, I would say, the closest thing I could call it is like indie electronic, indie pop. I mean, it's
ah,
definitely got an electronic feel to it. I mean, if you've ever heard Abstract's beats,
yeah,
it's
I
basically the style is like Abstract's production, because again, he produced the beats and then my vocals to it, which is actually, I think, it's worked out pretty well. I enjoy the way we sound together. It's gonna sound a lot like Indie Tidal Wave. In fact, Indie Tidal Wave is one of the songs in the EP. So think a bunch of Indie Tidal Wave ones. And like there's a sample actually out there online that I created on a bunch of social media with like a few seconds of each song in the EP, if you want to listen to that, if you haven't already. Um
sure. 1 second, I'm trying to go and pull up abstract's previous tracks if I am able to, as my max
his
is
last
dying.
is funnily enough his last track is actually, which is something I'm also working on with him, um a song where I produced the beat and also mixed his vocals.
Oh,
But he wrote the lyric, but he wrote the lyrics and did the vocals for it. I'm making an EP. I'm producing an EP for him as well, essentially. That's his latest track. Uh, fuck. I feel bad forgetting it. The name that is. No, it's not In the Lab. That's the. Oops. Didn't mean to. That one's still unfinished.
abstract Artemis, correct?
Abstractis Artemis. Artimus.
Well, you can send a track up to me.
Word Science. Word Science. That's the name. Word Science is the name of, I guess, his second latest single. His latest single is Tap Into the Program. I did not produce that one, but I did produce Word Science.
I'm looking at.
So that's.
I'm trying to search for it, but I'm
Mhm.
getting like the most insane weapon you've never heard of. Wesley Science, the most important words in science.
That's what? Weird. So I would search, if you want to search for, I found if you want to search for an indie artist, or at least if you want to search for a song made by an indie artist, you have to type out the name of the artist and the name of the song. That's the only way they show up, because we're just too small to show up on any search results unless you spell it out.
I feel like I'm pronouncing this wrong. Word Science.
Word Science. So I mean, science is spelled SCIENCE.
Abstract. Yes, Artem.
And then abstract. So again, I'll type it out, or I'll spell it out. This is Abstract's name. Abstractus Abstractius space Artimus Artemis.
Well, there's something that I've noticed is that his Discord account is gone.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, he deleted all social media.
How are you?
That's why I'm the server owner now. Is he deleted all social media?
How do you get his contact?
Before he left social media, this was his server. Music space.
How do you remain in contact with him then?
I have his number.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you put the spelling?
So you want to know? You want me to? You know what? I could just type it out in the YouTube chat if you want.
Sure.
I'll also type in the name of the song after the name of Abstract. Yeah, that's good. Let me go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, you sure. While we wait, I'm going to play word science. But it doesn't seem like he has a YouTube channel anymore. But we'll be playing it for like a bit anywho. Let's see. Word science.
Language is rhythm, rhythm is power, power is truth, and truth, well that's where I spit from. Every syllable's a symbol in the lab I'm in. Bend the phonies I decode what the masses miss. Stress on the sound for the emphasis. Rapping like a linguist with the clenched fist. Every syllable's a symbol in the lab I'm in. Bend the phonies I decode what the masses miss. Stress on the sound for the emphasis. Rapping like a linguist with the clenched fist. It's a human science. Build bars with alignment. Verse is a scalpel I dissect in silence. I ain't just rhyming, I'm twisting the syntax.
Alright, I'm back.
Language defiance, throwing light to it through constant appliances, not just noises. Here is refined. I engineer thoughts through the.
Are you listening to it right now? I can't hear it, by the way. If you are,
Right.
you can't. You haven't shared your screen.
I really need to actually not forget about these things. Can I stream? Abstractius.
If you are in the Discord,
Oh, that's how you do it. My bad.
yeah, there we go.
Hopefully that doesn't.
It's still loading for me.
Let me go and hide my stream.
There we go. Okay, you're on Spotify. All right.
How do I hide?
Cool. Just select me. There we go. I'm a little bit big now, but you'd probably have to like recrop me, but I think that's the best thing.
Oh, good. I can do that.
All right.
Well, while we do that, I will be playing the song. I'll repeat it again.
Hell yeah. All right. Kind of quiet, huh?
Language is rhythm,
There we go.
rhythm is power, power is truth, and truth, well that's where I spit from. Every syllable's a symbol in the lab I'm in. Bend the phonies I decode what the masses miss. Stress on the sound for the emphasis. Rapping like a linguist with the clenched fist. Every syllable's a symbol in the lab I'm in. Bend the phonies I decode what the masses miss. Stress on the sound for the emphasis. Rapping like a linguist with the clenched fist. It's a human science. Build bars with alignment. Verses a scalpel I dissect in silence. I ain't just rhyming, I'm twisting the syntax. Flipping your mindset, ain't no going back. Word science. Language defiance, flowing like fluid through constant appliances. Not just noises, here is refined. I engineer thoughts through the rhythm of mine. I stress the first beat like a Germanic root, but I slide into Latin when I'm bringing the truth. Double entendre with the phony lid. Make a record of the record with a needle hit. Morphology morphing in the form of my grid. Wordsmith so to read my syllable tree. Like hydrogen popping in a chemistry class. I ignite every line with a critical blast. Every syllable's a symbol in the lab I'm in. Bend the phonies I decode what the masses miss. Stress on the sound for the emphasis. Rapping like a linguist with the clenched fist. Every syllable lab I'm in. Bend the phonies the masses miss. Stress, emphasis. Rapping like a linguist with the clenched fist. Science, build bars with alignment. Verses a scalpel I dissect in silence. I ain't just rhyming, I'm twisting the syntax. Flipping your mindset, ain't no going back. Science, language defiance, flowing like fluid through constant appliances. Not just no irresistibly. I engineer rhythm of mind. Pragmatic with the tactics, how I set the tone. Flip meanings mid-verse like a metronome. Garage, stress on a twist. Accent the action, never let it be missed. Internal rhymes stacked up, bars interlock. Tick-tock, cadence, time bends when I talk. This ain't rapping thing, linguistic construction. Phonic percussions with the grammar eruption. Every syllable's a symbol in the lab I'm in. Bend the phonies I decode what the masses miss. Stress on the sound for the emphasis. Rapping like a linguist with the clenched fist. Every syllable's a symbol in the lab I'm in. Bend the phonies I decode what the masses miss. Stress on the sound for the emphasis. Rapping like a linguist with the clenched fist. It's a word science. Build bars with alignment. Verses a scalpel I dissect in silence. I ain't just running, I'm twisting the syntax. Flipping your mindset, ain't no going back. Word science. Language defiance, flowing like fluid through constant appliances. Not just noises, he was refined. I engineer thought through the rhythm of mind. Syntax layer with the poet's tongue. Stress time flows from the lungs I sprung. Somatics in hand, I've been what it means. Context flip like a film on the screen. I spit in irons, verbs in position. Lines with precision, bars with a mission. This ain't luck, it's designed like a thesis. A blueprint and rhythm, no skips, no pieces. Not just rapping's applied linguistics. Stress tone rhythm, my language ballistic. With play layered, meaning cryptic. Every verse a code decoded for gifted. This ain't just flow, it's frequency. This ain't just rhyming, it's realignment. This is science, this is science. Abstract noise experiment.
Oh,
Yeah, that's word science for you.
well, that made me reduce my volume for like about 10 decibels there on the screen because it just went straight into the red. Like, because you were telling me it was too soft, so I put it to max, and that kind of
Yeah.
blew my thing. And,
I apologize. I just couldn't hear it very well on my end. But I'm glad you liked it. I hope it wasn't too terrible for the stream.
shouldn't have been for too long because I usually go straight to my OBS to monitor my audio and also just overall stream quality.
Right.
Because you were
Gotcha.
there, but during the end of my last live stream, it was overloading. I was like 4 minutes behind. If you thought your latency on YouTube was bad with like a 30-second one, mine was like 5 minutes. I had to wait like 5 minutes to end the stream, which is crazy.
Jeez, that's wild. Wait, so like when you wild. Okay, damn. So like when you get like when you end the stream, like it cuts out 5 minutes.
It cuts off 5 minutes. Yeah.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, I watch
Wow.
on stream to see when I had to stop the stream. That's how bad the delay was.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed that like I noticed that you have to like that the higher the latency, it's like I've learned that I need to like wait a few seconds before the song ends if I don't want the song to be cut off. That's in general also why that's also in general why I do like the ending part where it's like a song that plays us to the end, because I don't want to run the risk of anything cutting off my speech or something.
Yeah.
It's also just a stylistic choice I got from a friend of mine, former friend, I should say.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
My God! I accidentally. Hold up. Wait. That's stupid.
You might want to you might want if you ever listen to more music, you might want to just keep the stream up. I don't know, unless it's like being taxing to your.
No, it's not. It's only
okay.
If OBS overloads, OBS itself overloads. So why is it like this? When it overloads, it just overloads just like that. There's no real issue that happens. It's just overall it having performance issues on its own. It's not my PC that's dying.
Uh-huh. Right.
Anywho, and anyways, from what we were talking just now, so that's like a showcase of what abstracts sound is, and I'm just gonna go and put in robot. And this one is Keegan Clark, my personal favorite from Keegan Clark's. It's just the robot.
I've got a lot of Robot Beanie stuff. Is this the Christmas one? This one? All right.
I think so. Hold up.
I've got like a million remixes of Robot Beanie now.
Please listen and
Alright, there we go.
Just realized I can turn up the stream volume on my end.
Yeah, you can.
There we go.
I really love your style on like.
This is love at first
Appreciate it.
Wait, this is different from what I thought.
Yeah, this is the like Frank Sinatra style rendition. It's not the original.
I still love the robot beanie stuff.
Mm,
I especially the
I appreciate it.
just the sample alone of like just
Mm,
the whole thing itself. I really love it.
thank you.
Yeah,
I
and
appreciate it.
honestly, something I actually want to ask, since I'm
Mm-hmm.
related to it, and also overall, just for the audience as well, is like a
Right.
question as to like how does one make what is promote music in a sense
Mm.
from your experience?
Well, in my experience, the best way to promote music is not. It's, I mean, it's not something that I am the biggest expert on, but I promote music on social media primarily. If I have if I have like a visualizer preview, I found that works pretty well. Like a quick snapshot to grab somebody's attention, and if they like it, they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. I can hit the pre-save," or "I'm excited for when that thing drops." Like I could subscribe or follow or do whatever to stay tuned for it. Um, and like that's what I did with my EP is I posted it everywhere. I edited a video with a bunch of sampled with a bunch of the songs sampled to like the best parts in each song at like a 15 second, like 10 or 15 seconds of the best parts of each song, and then put them in like a little promotional video with the cover art and information about when it happens and the names of each of the songs. Again, that's something I released on all platforms. It is a 9:6. I did a 9:16 vertical aspect ratio to maximize the amount of places I was able to put it, including Instagram, TikTok, uh, and the like. Those are the only ones I'm thinking about. I'm also uploaded to my YouTube Shorts. But you could also upload videos like that to X, Threads, Blue Sky, anywhere you have followers, basically. That's my take.
Yeah, fair enough. I have just been bottling just kind of just like a word to or this mouth to mouth word to word. I'm not even sure how it's called. It's just like wholesale, almost just talking it out and just sharing it to people. Somehow it's working somehow, but I don't think
I
it's
mean, you've got a lot of attention and followers. One thing I've been neglecting to do is posting my stuff on that Spotify Discord server. Um, I need to get back on that. Do you like just post your entire discography on there sometimes? Is that like a thing you can do?
on the
How is
what.
it like regular? The Spotify Discord server you introduced me to.
You don't put. You can only post Spotify links in there, and you can't put you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just either albums, EPs, or singles. You can't post your artist profile there.
Okay.
I don't always
Gotcha.
post there. It's more or less like a post it once in a while so people can look to it. It's not something that you want to be using as like your main source of clout.
Sure.
Yeah, because that
Sure.
people in those kind of servers are more community based, and they're more on the Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift, Adele, and all that kind of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Mars, and just overall
Right, right.
because we are considered indie, and for the most part, from what I've seen, it's very, very difficult to get attention, and it's even more difficult to even get people to care.
Mm. Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I've often wondered about like, because it's like I often wondered about the rules regarding that Spotify Discord server. If it's like if like, I mean, supposedly people are also checking each other's music out, but there doesn't seem to be any enforcement around that. Um, so I don't really know how it works, but I mean, I've just been posting my shit there.
Yeah, it's more or less like you post there and see whether people put it. It's like for community artists where you just kind of do it, I guess. Sometimes you'll be able to get quite good amount of retention. Sometimes you won't.
Right.
And
That makes sense.
yeah, um, advertising aside, I find that advertising is one thing, but something that I haven't been able to comprehend is how to get people to care.
Hmm.
Because
In my experience, you just got to find the right people. I
true.
frankly, I owe a lot of the connections I have to a handful of people, including Abstract and
Yeah.
James now. It's just the more you network with people, the more you get into different circles with other indie musicians, and the more you garner support from one another. I found is the best way to find people who care. And you know, I've spoken to James and have also submitted a few of your tracks to his shows a couple times. And you know, I think he wants to learn. He actually wants to learn more about you and what you create. So I think that by itself is a good bouncing off position to like find people who care, find people who are interested in the stuff that you do,
Yeah.
and yeah.
I would say that that is true as well. But there's one thing that I noticed is that people, from what I've seen so far, is that people like, especially if you're doing music, right? Sadly to say, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Music is a numbers game. Once you reach a certain point, obviously you don't need to worry as much. But but for the most
Uh-huh.
part, it is something that you need to also take a step back and also realize that music, for people who are looking at it as like a kind of like a career path, since I'm one of those people who want to make it a career path, I would say that it really
Mm-hmm.
depends on what you do, and also you need to make people like the average person care about your music, because you can have like 10,000 listeners. Like I peaked at
Mm-hmm.
2,200, but because people don't really,
It's pretty good.
yeah, but because people don't really care too much, and also was obvious that I'm not gonna stay that high for that long. It
Mm-hmm.
dropped back down to 1,000, basically halved. My
Mm-hmm.
listener count just halved.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard to maintain listener attention. And frankly, 1,000 listeners is still pretty fucking great. Like, I don't know if I would poo-poo that level of numbers. You got a couple thousand subs on your YouTube. You've got a bunch of monthly listeners. Last time I checked. But it's like, you know, I really don't know. Like, you could try to continue finding different communities to hang out with. Some people who end up appreciating your unique talent as a neoclassical producer. People who enjoy the kinds of music you create. Um, really my primary tactic has always been to just network with other people. For a long time, I tried getting to the source, getting to listeners and listeners only through playlists. That's what inspired me to do the Beats and Bangers stuff. This was long before the Robot Jukebox stream became a main thing. I had playlists called Beats and Bangers, and I still do Beats and Bangers, but it's usually but it's only the indie artist playlist, and it's usually just a subservient thing to the Robot Jukebox. The Robot Jukebox is kind of the new playlist show thing. After I realized that I wasn't getting a lot of traction from my Beats and Bangers playlists. Because I essentially, so on Beats and Bangers, I created a bunch of playlists, not just the Beats and Bangers indie artists playlist that I can routinely update now for the Robot Jukebox. I have other genre exclusive playlists where I have a bunch of other mainstream music on them as well, like a bunch of mainstream music where it's like either hip hop or electronic or whatever. I have a bunch of like playlists there with a bunch of different kinds of music. And it was really secondary. I was trying to appeal to listeners who may or may not just like find the playlist and want to listen to it because it's got a few songs that they already know and love, but throwing in a couple of other indie ones. And like that was a technique I tried for a long time. But it didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, I
so I stopped. Now my main technique is just, okay, let's
ball with it.
I'm just gaining attention from other musicians, other artists right now, and that may never change. I may be stuck in that role for the rest of my life, or I might break through, and I feel like I'm more likely to break through if indie artists together support one another, if that makes sense. I think that's always gotta be the first step. I don't know if there's any way to sidestep that. I don't think there is, unless you get really lucky.
Yeah, I find that
there's no substitute for networking, really.
Yeah, networking wise, that is true. Something that I've noticed as well.
Mm-hmm.
But something that I have noticed through, like, not in music space, of course. Music space, I have talked to you,
Mm-hmm.
Sundown, Focus and Music, Mario, and a few other people. However,
Mm-hmm.
for other places, right, they're not as like something to note that's kind of interesting and also a bit sad is that they aren't as inclusive-ish, I would say. Yeah, so
Are you talking about like
let me see on my phone real quick as to those places. Like, let's see. Like music production, it's a Discord server of like tens of thousands of artists, music artists, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, if you join a
Yeah.
VC, right, to kind of like chill out, just relax. What people do is that they'll join
Mm-hmm.
VC and they'll do something basic, guys. Join VC. Hey guys, can I get some reviews on my song? And once you give them the review or you don't, they just leave.
Yeah, they're just in it for themselves, kind of thing. Yeah. That's a common thing in indie communities. If we're not, I guess, trying to actively build the community part of the community, a lot of people literally just use those places as dumping grounds for their own personal their own personal gain. And like really I'm kind of doing the same thing, at least with the Spotify playlist, and so are you, by just putting our music in there without listening to anybody else's music in the chat. At least I don't think you're listening to the other people's music, but it's like the important thing is to get that reciprocal energy going on. And I think the best way to do that is to form bonds and community with the other musicians out there instead of just like constantly being like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna be showing my
Something
stuff.
funny about the Spotify server is that a lot of the Spotify artist song in there are actually AI made music.
Oh god.
I don't know whether you ever noticed or listen to them, but some of them are genuinely AI music.
That's disappointing.
Yeah,
um
like I actually managed to talk to some person there, but unfortunately he forgot the rules of the server, being that, well, it's Spotify, so it's a Spotify community, so you put in Spotify links. He wanted up sending me Google Drive links and YouTube links in the server, which he was warned for, and he didn't like it, so he just outright left the server.
mm-hmm.
And that's the only
Right.
interaction I had with any other artist in the server. Everyone else is just talking about rap.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
that's like one of the many issues, and actually the reason why even I actually contemplated on, because I wanted to do the live music reviews as well, because I was really interested, like, you know, I can actually improve by genuinely trying to listen to some songs, to see how people produce, and trying to give my own opinions on it. So once I give the opinion, I have to think like how's the song going, and all that. But also to build like a community and stuff around it. But I also realized that the problem about these kind of things is that people don't really people submit these and don't really participate in the stream. I think you know that as well. As I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I do have work during the hours that you stream, but I do at least try to drop in some of the days. That kind of thing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like I can
No,
just
I mean, I
pull up names, right? Or at least the numbers of people who don't actually join in either of our streams. Mine is a bit less because
sure.
I don't really have that much people in my streams, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you just started, and I feel like speaking of the topic of self promotion, one thing you might want to try out doing, and I gave you permission to actually speak in the music space announcements page. One thing I do is so the way I set up my streams anyway, I have a bot for whenever I go live on YouTube and Twitch. But I also announce when my streams are about to go live in the announcements page, and I use the ping at everyone. That usually I also set a pretty rigid schedule so people start expecting Friday and Monday streams or whatever time zone you're in being my stream time for either the Robot Jukebox or streaming with Keegan. Setting a schedule, doing something like that. Pinging the the Discord server, stuff like that. That would definitely help boost your, I think, exposure and audience. I've kind of been doing that for you, and somewhat, and it's still gonna take a while before people start to catch on. And in general, we've also got a fair amount of lurkers on the Music Space Discord server, so it's like, I don't know, it's not foolproof. Ideally, we get more active members of the community,
Yeah.
but
So
whatever, man.
from
It's
my site alone, there is
mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. There's out of like 1, 2, 3, 4, out of 5 songs on yesterday's stream. 3 were lurkers,
Mm.
and out of like if I were to take the other stream as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of 5, there's 1, 2, 3, 3 as well. 3 out of 5. It's like a 60% ratio. And whereas for your stream, I think that number is even higher than before.
Right, yeah. No, I mean there are also a fair amount of lurkers in the streams themselves. That's true for sure.
It's not that I'm blaming them. I'm just saying that it's just something that could have good consequences if people decided that, you know, maybe it's cool and all to kind of be a bit more engaging. It's not that they don't engage, they do engage, right? It's just that to be more engaging would actually serve the community and in response, or this in retrospect themselves as well. But I don't believe that people really see things that way. It's more of like a shallow kind of thing for the most part until you kind of think about it, then it gets more in depth.
Right, right.
And as someone who's trying to go like doing a niche genre of things and trying to at the very least make ends meet out of it, like my needs comparative to people in better countries is way less because, well, my currency is screwed anyway, so I need like I need like maximum 400 a month to survive. That's how little in comparison an American is. Americans need like thousands a month, like in US dollars, which is like
Right.
several times higher than mine. So even for me, I cannot make ends meet. Of course, I did only start distributing last year, and I understand that there's a lot more time that can be given to do all of this. But uh, something that I should say is that after a lot of statistical researching, a lot of kind of back and forth to other people here and there, I can safely say that it is almost impossible for someone to make ends meet on music alone. Especially if you do have the talent, right, it's still very very difficult to even get beyond like that certain um kind of like popularity threshold where you go from like you need to push your stuff out to your stuff pushes it out for you. You still have to push them out,
Right.
but you don't have to do it as with as much effort as before. And I would say that amongst everyone that I have seen, none of the people that I've talked to, or at least are friends with, have that ability to just make songs and just have their songs kind of push it out towards them. Um, one of the only people whom I know that is kind of like bigger, but of course he kind of ditched me one day, just saying that because he blocked me, uh, and then
That's lame.
yeah, he blocked me one day. I was like, I was like diligently just messaging him every single day because we were music buddies. I would stream my own music on Discord, like share my screen, just share my music, and he would share his own music,
Mm.
and we would just chill out, just like that. And the thing about that was that he ended up started ghosting me a bit, and once I realized it was deliberately ghosting me, he kind of just blocked me. And months later, I managed to get in contact with him again. He said he was my best friend, and then he blocked me again. That guy has 5,000
Mm.
subscribers.
Wow.
At the time I met
Well, I
him,
mean, you've got a decent amount yourself. You're like 3K, so it's like,
yeah.
you're sitting pretty.
At
By
the
the way, I'm curious. It's like you've got so many subscribers on YouTube, but it's like the turnout and view ratio is like very
yeah,
small.
that's actually something that I wanted to talk about today as well, like overall, and also why I'm going bankrupt from
Mm.
music. Is that I
Hey,
used.
We got Dana. Welcome.
Hello, Dana. What's up? Hello there. What's up, Diana?
How are you doing?
Um,
So, what were you saying?
yeah. What I was saying is that I partook in spending money in advertisements. I'm not gonna hide it. I
Mm-hmm.
spend money in advertisements. I believe I spent over
Okay.
$1,000 in that so far.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's an exaggeration. I probably spent like 1,000 in my currency or more, but the turnout, as you can see, not that great. It's not that good. I believe that it kind of helped, but then it also kind of killed my stuff as well. Um, as you can see, at certain points of my stuff, right, I only had like 17 views, 14 views, and all that. 9 views, which is kind of crazy low considering 7 views. And that's like a modern
Mm.
song that I made. Like, I I have tried my best in order to kind of course this the song that I or this the video that I made, which is titled "Help," has like 500 views because that's a shit post, which kind of got on my nerves that that kind of like a shit post got way more views than my other stuff had. But fair enough, people.
Ain't that the truth, man? I mean, I've got a Steven Universe clips out of context video that's gotten way more views than any of my music on YouTube, so I know the feeling.
Yeah, so I'm just sitting here trying to do stuff with it, and the more I do this, the more I realize that I my original goal was because currently my original goal is to make at least a minimum of 2 book series, like Harry Potter, that kind of size worth of a series. Yeah, 2 of them.
Right. Right.
Five.
Yeah, because you're like a very. I was gonna say you're very much of a storyteller as well. You have a lot of you have a lot of like stories related to your compositions that I think are pretty cool.
Yeah, and
Anyway, I
5,000
didn't.
songs, 50 to 500 symphonies in those 5,000 songs, minimum of one
Mm-hmm.
MMORPG and one game, maybe on Roblox because I feel like it. And like
I'm doing
maybe
well, Dana, by the way.
an animation series. Yeah, we're just chilling here, honestly. We're just
Mm.
yapping about wherever we can. And just,
This is a yapping session.
yeah, and maybe an animated series, which is what I'm planning to do. Um, Kind of like where my point stems from this is because I am not someone who's like able to get like scholarships and all that for like really glamorous job and all that. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
It's just an office job that I'm working at, and I don't know whether I'm even gonna be getting that much. Um, stuff in my life. It's just kind of like once you grow older and older and older, you're just like, man, I didn't do anything with my life. I don't want that to happen, so I'm just trying to go and speed run my career. But as you can
Right.
tell, it's well, it's you can tell that it's growing, but for my pace in which I'm just like, man, I really want it to be better, but I guess I'm getting a bit too greedy since my previous average statistically was like like 10 listeners a day on Spotify, making it a total of like
Right.
200 to 300 monthly listeners. And now if I take a look at my statistics, because it dropped like a few times over, the statistics say that I'm getting more or less 1,000 listeners a month, like 800 to 1,000. So there is
Right.
some growth, but at the same time, I've been getting too overconfident in what is too optimistic. So, kind of the reason why I've been also contemplating. You might have saw my tweet on X, saying that I'm gonna be taking like distancing myself from music a bit here, and I'll just read that tweet with, and I quote, after considering my status, I'm probably going to retire from music as a whole either this or next year to take part
Really?
in, yeah, to take part in
Hmm.
other like other aspects of things like animating, coding, scripting,
Hmm.
novel writing, because I've been putting that off for years now. I should be doing a lot more things on it, but um, these things are like so big in scope that I can't do them without putting my full attention to them. Like writing, I have like a 60-page draft, and that's just a draft for like,
Hmm. I understand the feeling. I'm a writer myself, and it takes a lot of patience and commitment to stick with because it's a lot slower than producing, at least to me, and I'm sure to you as well. Um, so it's like it takes a lot of stamina. It takes a lot of long-term commitment to your craft. So I understand that.
yeah. And overall, I'm also going to go broke from all of this posting.
Mm.
Like, I'm trying to like push my music out there via advertisements, playlist curating maybe at some point. But
Right. You know what? I would stop spend first of all, I would stop spending money on promotion. Like I don't know. I don't think that's the way to go personally. I've gotten as far as I have without spending a dime, at least for the most part. So, I don't know. That's
yeah,
my
I
2 cents.
understand
Those are
that.
my 2 cents.
That's also the reason why I'm also like kind of just trying to, because no one, everyone teaches you how to advertise when you've got like a bajillion dollars, or you just basically already have a fan base. Just how to advertise when you have a fan base. People don't really teach you how it's done, how you start, and even then, it's not something that, especially for music, especially, as not everyone does gaming channels, not everyone does documentary channels. Documentary channels, all you really need to do is to make documentaries and with things that you think are interesting, and people will eventually look at it and kind of just follow you after that for your documentary projects. But
Right.
as for music, it's very, very fickle. Some songs that you make, right, are going to be really, really popping off. Some people would really, really like it. Some people won't really like it as much. And that is so true to the point where that one second that the best doing song of mine only has like, let's say, a few hundred views on YouTube, which is like 300. It's like my 1,000 subscribers special, right? Has like, let me just double check that real quick so I don't misrepresent the numbers.
Right.
1,000 stars is the song that I'm talking about, and this song on YouTube has 312 views, but on Spotify it has a whopping 23,000 streams. Like, it doesn't
Right.
add up. My lovely Twilight has 14,000 views on YouTube, but from what I'm seeing, it only has like less than 6,000 streams on Spotify. So, of course, I did
Hmm.
use, or at least attempt to use ads on it via
Uh-huh.
Spotify and all that. I'm also contemplating on trying out meta ads now, since, well, but I don't really post on Instagram or Facebook that much. I tried, but kind of gave up after. Because
Yeah.
another thing
I don't
that
know, man.
I don't want is to post. You know how those nowadays musicians are posting kind of like videos, memes actually, as and then putting their music on it. I don't really like those kind of that way of like making your music known. But it's something you can do. Something that I've refrained from doing because of, well, first of copyright stuff. You probably know that as well. These people are taking
Of course.
things like The Incredibles, things like that's from Disney,
Yeah.
things like Superman from DC, like the movies and all that, and just taking
Right,
them
right.
and slapping their own music on it for their own game. Technically, by copyright,
Yeah.
it's under commercial use, which I don't believe the IP of those
Is
people
yeah.
allow for that to happen. At least for DC and Disney.
No, you're right.
And even
Yeah,
if
you'd
it's
have to
not,
get explicit permission for that.
yeah, and even if
A lot of
it's-
people don't.
Yeah, and even if it's, let's say, you kind of like don't, or these aren't like a big creator, the person that you're taking it from, like it's not like a multi-billion dollar or multi-million dollar company. It's also like where you can steal videos or at least take videos from other people. Like, let's say someone makes a Minecraft gameplay video and he's like
Right,
he's
right.
like really good at the game. He's comboing people, he's knocking people into the air and just killing them before they can even land a single hit on, and then you just slap your own music. It's still not
Gotcha.
your music, or it's not your own creation, and it's like more of like a creation standpoint. Are you making music for money, or are you making music for the love of it, anyways?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some people do that for money. Other people do that just. Other people are just so clueless that they don't know that using other people's content as visual aid or visualizers or whatever, whether it be for cover arts, a cover, like an album cover or whatever, or a music video. Some people are just that clueless that it's a problem or that they can get in trouble for theft or copyright violations, and just do it because they think it looks cool. Has been my experience.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
yeah.
just continuing off of that, something that really got on my nerves was how my movement occurs, or is the Piano Lullaby album of mine actually blew up. It is like over 30,000 accumulative streams. It kind of made me angry over that fact because this was like, compared to the more prolific-ish stuff from this was basically made in a day. Like the entire album was
Made in.
basically made in a day. Most of the songs took
Mm.
less than 20 minutes to put together, and at the end of the day, I was like, because this was actually taken from some other person just saying that, you know, you might want to take inspiration from someone else, which I did. I completely forgot who they are. They're quite a big artist as well, which shame on me for forgetting them. But it
I
was
get
like
it.
inspiration from like a single piano part from their end, which I think not this one. Um, let me see. Should be Lullaby. Oh, there goes my camera. Hold up. What? Let us save my camera.
So I feel like I need to wrap things up pretty soon, but I'm down to listen to one more song. I still want to take a shower and do a bunch of stuff
Yeah,
before
fair enough.
dinner. Um,
This is the closest thing to really in relation to the inspiration of the what you got?
the artist that you took inspiration from?
Yes, the person that I was during this time was like I found out this kind of like way to make this kind of piano sound from a normal
Right.
piano sam MIDI kind of.
I remember. Yeah, I remember being very entranced with this because I remember it was like very eerie the way the keys kind of drift out of pitch somewhat.
Yeah, it was like, and also something that I want to also say is that you know how I make music on FL Mobile, right?
Yeah.
Two to
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, it bugged out, so I had to unfortunately reinstall it,
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
which means that 100 over projects were just gone.
Oh. Oh, that sucks.
And one of those lost projects was
They're not
this
like
one
they're not
part.
saved anywhere else. They're not saved anywhere else like
No.
any
No, that's my fault
that's
for not
lame.
backing it up as well. I do have some songs left over, but unfortunately, I did not have the full thing. This is one of them that I lost.
Mm. suppose you can always recreate it.
I could honestly, because I know the motive from it, and I
Yeah,
did
and
have like the rest of it, but then the thing kind of got cut, so it goes like an hour's worth of work,
right.
which
Well,
doesn't seem
anyway.
like much, but my attention span is so little that an hour is considered a lot.
Nah, I get it.
Yeah.
I gotta get going, but I appreciate you having me on this stream, man. Um, and I'm always down to chat with you at future times.
It's been a
Curious.
good first
Hmm?
stream kind of podcast style where we just kind of talk about basically anything on our minds.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool for sure. Um, Curious. I'm gonna be co-hosting. I'm gonna be hosting Robot Jukebox tomorrow. Would you like to co-host? It's gonna be the Beats and Bangers Spotify playlist.
I believe I may be able to, but I'm not sure. I do have. I want to go and help somebody in real life. They're not in a
Okay.
good spot right now, but I'm not even sure whether they even want to because they kept on turning me down because I'm not giving them like hard cash. I'm just like, I can get you some food, but then they're like, nah.
Hmm. Okay. Well, if not, that's totally fine too.
Uh,
Just
I
thought I'd put it out there.
most likely can make it to tomorrow, but I'm just throwing in. I may not be able to, but I should be able to make it since it's early in the morning.
Okay.
You stream at like 7
All right.
a.m. time
All right.
zones.
Cool. Coolio.
Anywho, and anyhow, I will also wrap up the stream so that we both can just kind of just leave it as of now. So
All right.
yeah, so it's been a good stream with Keegan Clark. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to have his YouTube channel, I will put his name in the YouTube chat. Keegan Clark. And that is his username. You can search him up. He's also a musician like me. He makes more vocal and electronical heavy songs, although he does have like a really wide range to his songs. Kind of changed throughout his musical career, so you can check them out. Really interesting kind of vibes to each and every one of his songs. So I would recommend if you're interested in those kind of things, check him out. And without further ado, that is the end of today's stream. And I will be slapping
Alright.
the change thing before we put it to the end of the stream. Hold up for like 20 seconds. 20 seconds.